Welcome everyone. Today we'll have 3 different tier lists with the 3 new units which are 5 stars to show you guys. So this DPS tier list, support tier list, also the healer tier list. After that I also have 9 different builds to show you guys. So quite a few things to go through, but it's very nice. So I'm very excited to show you guys, and let's get into the video. As always, let's start the video with a summary with 3 new tier lists and also 9 different top tier damage builds. So firstly, the 3 tier lists are going to include Ayaka, Childe, and Zhongli. Keep in mind guys, we have not been able to play them exactly. I'm on the process of making their spotlight videos showing their skills. So at the moment, those tier lists are not exactly correct because we haven't been able to play them. And the tier list is sorted by character types and also elements. So we're breaking them down to 3 parts: DPS, support, and healers. Next up, we'll be looking at 2 types of different damage build that is currently very popular. The first one is to boost your elemental bonus damage, and that uses support units like Sockers and also debuff enemy elemental resistance. Followed by that, we'll look into the critical rate and critical damage build, and they can use a number of units because any unit can build for those type of stats. Those are mainly DPS physical characters that want to have the higher physical resistance reduction, and the easier way to get that is with Quail and Electro for the superconduct to minus physical armor by 40%. Coming over to a new tier list, you can see that we have Ayaka, we have Childe, and Zhongli. Those units are ranked pretty highly at the moment because I have a strong anticipation of how strong they can be, and most of the comparison units are 4-star units. Only concern is Mona may be stronger than Childe, who is actually a bow user, so we'll wait for that, but at the moment I'm pretty excited for all 3 of those characters. As you can see, we have the DPS characters from Pio to Geo. There isn't a ranking between the elements, but from the left to right there is a ranking. Currently, you can see most of the 5-star units being on the top of the DPS chart. This is true for most cases because the game has designed the 5 stars to be quite strong. But you can also see the substitute DPS characters like Xiaoling, Chongyun, Disrazer, Beidou. There is also the Geo Traveler with Noel and also Nagant listed with the Geo characters. Now you might be a little surprised to see the Geo Traveler is actually higher tier listed over here. I'll show you guys why. If you come over to the game over here, you can see my Geo Traveler currently have 5 constellations unlocked. If you have seen the previous constellation video guys, you know how strong the units are with the constellation unlocked, and the Geo Traveler is 1 away from the full constellation unlock. How did I do that? Well, there isn't any magic behind it. So what happened is, if you come to the diamond shop in the Ring Harbor over here, if you come to the diamond shop, you can purchase the Geo Traveler's constellation. You can purchase up to 3 of those, I believe, and the rest of the constellation actually come from leveling up. So as you level, you eventually level up, you actually get more of those constellations. Let me show you guys over here with the constellation. So surprisingly guys, the Geo Traveler is actually very potent DPS. So there is let me show you guys where are we going? There you go. So you can see this is one of the Amino Traveler's constellation, but similarly as you level up, you will be obtaining the Geo and Anemo character constellations. And the Traveler by himself or herself is quite powerful after you get those constellations unlocked. Because again, there's the higher damage, critical rate, there is AoE damage, there's quite a few things, increased leveling, and there is generating energy, and after that is more leveling, and finally there is lasting longer and doing more damage. So this makes our Traveler actually quite top tier for a DPS character for the Geo units. Now looking at this top tier list for the DPS characters, you might realize that a lot of the 5-star characters are in the front. And what about the 4 stars? Well, don't worry guys, in our 9 different builds, I'll show you guys how to use the 4 stars. And if you have multiple constellations unlocked, let's say for Xiaoling, she can be as strong as Diluc or even stronger. Next up, we have the support tier list. You can see this is a new support tier list, and the characters are ranked from left to right. So Bennett is actually a stronger support than Xiaoling if he is at 1 constellation. If Xiaoling is 0 constellation and Bennett is 0 constellation, I think Xiaoling might win, but if Bennett gets 1 constellation, he is stronger. Similarly, most of the 4 stars are shining because they are stronger support units. You can see that we have Sakros over Venti, simply because Venti in the higher levels after level 70 and 80 does not do enough support compared to Sakros, which also stuns and controls enemies together as he casts his ultimate. You can also see Jin is not only a DPS back there, she is an animal DPS, she can also be a support and a healer. So Jin is one of those characters that work with 3 different things. Very powerful. You can also see the Anemo Traveler as a support. Over here, I have attached a few more characters. For example, Chi-Chi and Kai over here, and also Xingqiu, Barbara. And you can see finally, with the Geo support units, I believe Nogum is the easiest to trigger her spells and to deal Geo damage. Now I just remembered, in case you guys are not sure why am I using the words DPS, support and healers, come back to this video which explains how to build your perfect team or the best free-to-play team, and I explain the roles and how those characters interact. As a general summary, the DPS characters want to be doing elemental damage or normal attack damage when the spells are off cooldown. They are the characters you invest most of your resources into them, and also the ones you get the best weapons and the highest level. The support characters can be a little lower in level. Their job is to come onto the field, cast the spells, and start a chain reaction. Maybe an elemental reaction, maybe a bit of the boost of damage, maybe reduce the enemy's armor. And sometimes they can also heal you, but that's when coming to the healers. Coming over to a healers tier list, you can see that I have added a new healer that is going to be coming in the patches. We're going to go a little closer on the picture. It is a little blurry. This is believed to be, the leaks from the patch 1.1. This is believed to be a cryo healer called Diona. So Diona is going to be another cryo healer. We're going to have two cryo healers being Chi-Chi and Diona. Now keep in mind guys, although there are two cryo healers, it is not likely everyone has Chi-Chi, so it's nice to have additional 4-star healers. Right now we're looking at 5 healers in an upcoming patch, and we're going to have 3 4-star healers, being Diona, Barbara, and also the Geo character Noelle also heals with her normal attack after casting her shield. Now if you haven't subscribed, this is a really good time to do so. Make sure you also turn the bell on for the latest news as I find more of them for us. You can see that we're really dedicated for Genshin Impact. We'll have builds, guides, tips, news, and events updates for everything that's Genshin Impact related. Now that we had a look at those 3 tier lists I prepared for you guys, keep in mind guys, I'm not sure for Akia, Childe, and Zhongli for their position for now, but I do believe they are quite strong, much stronger than the 4 stars. And also this is a patch for 1.0. When the patch 1.1 comes in, we'll practice and try those characters, we'll make a new tier list. And now for the next part of today's video, I think those two combines really well. We'll be looking at the damage build types. For the elemental bonus build, we'll look for Hydro, Pyro, and Electro. This is because currently we do not have a strong cryo DPS, and the 4 main elementals are Pyro, Hydro, Electro, and Cryo. For our 5-star choices, we'll be looking at Mona, Diluc, Klee, and also Keqing. For the 4-star DPS characters, they will be Xiaoling, Razor, and Bidu. Now if you're wondering again what are the DPS characters, I do recommend coming over here and have a quick look. So those are the DPS characters, and they excel doing normal attack damage or elemental damage with the spells while the spells are on cooldown. How it works is, most of the spells enhance the attack with the elemental damage, and they follow by normal attacking enemies. Knowing there are 2 major damage builds for the team comps we'll be looking at, we'll have a look at the elemental and also critical rate damage build. First up, we have in Party 1 and Party 2 2 very different builds. For the first party, you can see we have 2 Pyro and 2 Cryo for the maximum benefit of getting the higher critical rate and higher damage. Diluc can be a DPS character for higher critical rate and critical damage. Also, he can be a Pyro character. So Diluc works for both of those builds. Depends what item you categorize with him, he will be quite strong for those regards. Now if you do want a guide on the best item set, artifact set, weapons for each of the characters, I'm on my process of making that for all the characters for us. Coming back to the guide, you can see that not only do we have 2 Pyro and also 2 Cryo, the possibility of the reactions we have is going to be Melt. Melt allows us, the Pyro characters will be Diluc and also Xiaoling, to do ×2 damage on the enemy if we debuff them with Cryo first. Also, Diluc and Xiaoling are enhanced by Chilling over here. If we have a look at his passive for Ascension level 1, he will increase the allies' units' attack speed within the circle of the Frost Circle for 8%. Now attack speed works wonders in this game, and 8% increase attack speed is actually quite a bit. Now if you guys are not sure for the party resonance, I'll leave on this page for a moment. You can see why sometimes it's preferable to have 2 Pyro and 2 Cryo, because of the 20%, 25% attack percent, and also the 15% critical rate, which is very powerful. Similarly, I'll leave us on the elemental reaction chart over here for a few moments. I can also post those on my Twitter if you haven't seen those. So what we're majorly looking at is between Pyro and Cryo over here for the melt effect, because this will enhance the Pyro attack by the highest point. On party 2, you can see we have a Mona build. This Mona build might not seem very strong, but we did make a video about it. In the Chinese forum post, people have achieved 500,000 with that particular Mona build. If you do want the details, come into this video and have a quick look, because I explained everything to detail on that video. So this is quite a powerful build. How it works is Bennett's burst spells increase everyone's damage by 76%. Ember is here for 2 Pyro for the 25% attack boost, and also Ember casts a spell with a particular set, increase another 20% party attack. Sucrose will lower the enemy's resistance to Hydro, and then Sucrose will also increase Mona's elemental mastery. Mona will finish with a massive critical rate, achieving about 500,000 damage in one shot, so that was a very powerful build. Next up, we have 2 different parties. Over here, we'll be focusing on Klee and Keqing. As we spoke earlier, those units can work with different party. For the sake of the free-to-play or the low-spending players, if you happen to have Klee, you can consider those units which are more readily available. I'm sure if you got Klee, likely you have Sucrose as well. And the plan over here is to create a few of the elemental reactions. We have different elements, and our goal is to create the melt interaction, so have the enemy debuff with Cryo, then follow up with Klee to do 2 times damage. You can also synergize well with the rest of the synergies, and we can enhance our damage even further with Sucrose by debuffing enemies with lowering the resistance and also increase everyone's mastery. For the party setup for Keqing, it's a similar concept. I'm using different units to show you guys what's possible. The focus here will be Qiu Yun, who actually give us the 8% attack speed boost. Having this boost, everyone on the party is a melee unit, is a 2-hand or 1-hand sword user, and everyone is here to synergize well with Keqing. Our goal is to create as much as the elemental reactions as possible. We'll be focusing on Superconduct if possible, and Frozen to disable enemies. We can deal extra damage with Electro Charge, and also there's Crystallize to help us defend against certain elements. Now you might be wondering, hey, aren't you using too many of the 5-star characters to make your party? Yes, because we consider what if you started with 1 5-star or 2 5-star characters. Now let's look into some parties that doesn't have to need any of the 5 stars. You can see in party 1, the focus over here is Xiaolin. Xiaolin is here to enjoy all the elemental combos that's achievable with all the characters. The focus here is Kaya with Lisa to have Superconduct, which reduces enemies' defense, and also the ability to debuff enemies consistently with Barbara with Hydro, follow up with Xiaolin to deal some increased pyro damage. Keep in mind, we can build Xiaolin for pyro damage. We can also build Xiaolin for the critical rate and critical damage build. When that happens, what we're going to do is we're going to debuff enemy with Superconduct minus the armor and try to crit with Xiaolin's charge attack. And this will hit 200% more damage, and multiplied with the reduced armor, she will hit very hard. Now just to show you guys, this is actually a legitimate build. What we're going to do is we're going to come over here on the short clip to see the Chinese player hitting the level 30 and level 80 Hydrosis. And you can see the Xiaolin is going to crit for about 30,000 over here. Yeah, with the charge attack, 30,000. And you can see that she crits for 20,000 even at the higher level bosses. And those boss monsters are level 82. For this bottom one, the top one is level 30. So you can see the Xiaolin build works, and she didn't have any buff yet. She did not debuff enemy with Superconduct, nothing yet. So this is just a pure damage with Xiaolin's build. So she's definitely workable if you do plan to build her with higher constellation. Coming over to party 2 over here for the 4-star characters, you can see that the same concept from before with Keqing's build. We'll be building around Qiu Yun for the support, and also Bennett for his burst spells. We'll be adding Noelle here for a bit of sustain, healing, and shield. Razor will be the main DPS. We'll also create Superconduct, which will lower enemies' physical defense. Keep in mind, you can go with Razor for physical or electric build, but both will work, because having Razor and also Qiu Yun, you can consistently debuff enemies multiple times. Next up, we're going to look at some of the party setups to use some of the healer units as your support and also DPS character. So your main character will be Noelle and Jin. Those characters will have the strongest weapon and the best artifact set. Our goal is to lower the enemy's armor with Superconduct, Qiu Yun, and Fizzle, and over here we'll have Lisa and Kaya to lower the enemy's armor. After that, Noelle and Jin will go ham and start slashing enemies. We also have Barbara for the additional healing and Bennett for increase of burst damage. So those can also work, and I've seen a very powerful Jean. She's almost unkillable if she has enough sustain because of her passive. Now if you guys are not sure what Jean's passive is, come over here and have a look. So Jean's normal attack have 50% chance to regenerate and heal the entire party for 15% of her attack. And my Jean's current attack is about close to 1800. So we're looking at, oh gosh, maybe about 300 to 400 damage that's healed for the entire party each time she attacks at a 50% chance. And that is very powerful if she keeps attacking with a fast attack speed. Similarly, Noelle also have skills that heals the entire party, so having those two DPS setup, what you're looking for guys, you're not looking for elemental damage, you're looking for critical rate and critical damage. Noelle will be building for defense while Jean will build for attack, critical rate and critical damage. And finally, we have a build for Bidu. Now I have to be honest with you guys, I am not a Bidu expert, I have not been able to use her or try her much, and because of that, I'm just going with a basic understanding. We're using a few of the 4-star characters and the Geo Traveler to enable us to have some combinations. When I went into Bidu's character settings and skills, I realized she is quite durable. She also is quite defensive against the enemies. So I thought if we have the Geo Traveler, we can also increase some of the shield. We can utilize the ability of Crystallize and make us a little tankier. To be honest, I'm not sure how strong this build is, but we have Sakrus to enhance the elemental damage that we can deal as a whole party. And also Cheering will increase our attack speed for Bidu and also for the Traveler. To summarize this video, that was quite a bit to go through guys, and I did do quite a bit of recording and editing. Hopefully you enjoyed it. We have 3 new tier lists with Ayaka, Childe and Zhongli included, sorting the tier list by the elements and also by the type of characters, also ranking them from left to right. After that, we had a look at the 2 different types of damage build for the elemental bonus, also critical rate and critical damage. We also went through about 9 different builds showing different characters, possibilities and different combinations. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this tier list, and what I'm preparing is, when the new patch comes in with 1.1, we'll be having a new character spotlight and also new tier list for the new units to come, and this will include the 5 stars, also the new 4 stars as well. Now if you found this video helpful, make sure you subscribe and also turn the little bell on for the latest news. I'll be looking towards to make more builds, guides, tips and news and event updates for us as we come further into the game. And as always, I wish you guys the best of luck with capturing and have the most fun in exploring this wonderful world.